Welcome viewers once again to this NPTEL course on education leadership. So, we were discussing about turnaround leaders, their qualities, capabilities, competencies, and we have also started a little bit discussion on educational entrepreneurship, the qualities, capabilities, the cognitive and non-cognitive skills they have already they are required to possess and acquire, and how at the individual level the academic entrepreneurship performance model can be successful. We have already discussed about how to link up the academic mindset to the academic perseverance, to academic behaviors, and again with effective learning strategies and the social skills, how we can get the expected learning outcome, that is academic performance, the learning outcomes to be substantially effective and successful. Now, we will discuss about developing the entrepreneurial effectiveness in education sector. So, now we are addressing the education sector as an industry, as a domain. So, starting from the curriculum to inside the formal education system, outside the formal education system, how to develop the awareness for being an entrepreneur, and what kind of mindset we should need to develop, the capabilities, the effectiveness, all these things we will discuss, which has been given here in the diagram. You just go through this diagram. First is that you can say formal education. The formal education it fosters our employability skills. In the formal education, we can incorporate the guided assignments and apprenticeship for developing the employability skills. Then it can again promote the education for enterprise, for example, creative problem solving approach, integrating the business with e-learning. So, how education, formal education can also promote the educational enterprise through creative problem solving, and how to integrate business with the e-learning patterns. Then again within the curriculum framework also we can say the group and individual projects which has been assigned to the individual learners and the students. For example, venture planning to design new startup business, design based task, and experiential and reflective learning, internship programs. So, any kinds of experience projects, learning projects, these can also be assigned to the students for developing educational enterprise. Then self-directed, some self-directed, self-negotiated learning projects can be taken up in terms of some master's level dissertations, and some projects applying for some organizations to provide the projects and completing the projects on educational pedagogy or management or whatever. Then consultancy, doing consultancy for the development of educational practices, professional practices in some organizations, and providing training, continuing education training, in-service training programs for different kinds of domain knowledge upgradation in different subjects, as well as the professional development, as well as the soft skill development, as well as the functional skill development in different sectors of job. These things can be done. And at the other end, like enterprise awareness, we have to develop the enterprise awareness among our prospective job seekers, job holders, employees, or I can say students. So, how to develop the startup business, then career support, then how the student union support the career development program or career guidance program of students in the university campus, how social media can facilitate career development and networking, how distributed media can also facilitate the career awareness among the students, and developing developing an entrepreneurial mindset. As we have already discussed, the entrepreneurs, educational entrepreneurs, they need to develop a new set of skills and the mindset. So, here along with the different kind of entrepreneurial skills, we need to develop a mindset also. For developing an entrepreneurial mindset and developing the entrepreneurial capability, with the mindset we need to groom our own capabilities, we need to develop our own abilities, competencies. So, developing the entrepreneurial capabilities, and then moving towards entrepreneurial effectiveness. So, within this sector Now we can say within the the framework of developing entrepreneurial mindset also we can develop different different ideas, different thoughts about the how to conduct a business plan. So business idea generations, maybe that it is ongoing business or maybe something new, something innovative. So we can generate that business ideas and we can look for the competition, what is going on in the market, in the education sector, in the IT sector, in the skill development sector. So we can also look for the career guidance. We can take the help of some people who are doing the career guidance and social career networks also. Then enterprise society events are also going on. We have to keep an watch on this, what is going on in social setup, then engaging with the business. So for having for gaining some kind of experiences with regard to different kind of business setup and whether it is successful or not, what are the hurdles, what are the impediments inherent in that kind of business. So we can experiment on with by doing some kind of internship, or you can say for doing some kind of part-time jobs in different organizations for gaining the knowledge about the different kinds of business, different kind of business, because the manufacturing business to educational business to service oriented business, all these types of business will be different. And in social sector, in social entrepreneurship setup, and in especially in the education sector, we need to develop in different kinds of skills to even to do a kind of preliminary service, preliminary survey and pilot study, some kind of research in that sector, and to know the needs of the students, needs of the stakeholders, needs of the parents, and gaps in the institutional systems, gaps in the policies and practice, policy implementation or policies of the government, as well as the actual practice in the education institutions. So we need to find out these gaps. So first we have to decide whether we want to do business in education sector or in any other social sector, and if education, then what would be the ideal ideal sector, ideal domain, ideal segment, you can say, in which I am going to be successful, in the sense that it will be an innovative practice and it will cater to the societal needs, the individual needs, to the stakeholder needs, and it will be an interesting one to pursue. So then taking the responsibility for the social enterprise, community based projects, when we participate in different kind of social enterprise activities, community projects for gaining experience, so we need to introspect, we need to reflect upon our experiences. So organizing the activities and the events, sometimes purposefully want to organize some kind of events, taking the students, taking the stakeholders or parents support and cooperation. Then in order to understand the students engagement in some entrepreneurial activity, we can also engage them for for publicity or for kind of any activity oriented projects. So then it can lead to some pre-incubation venture planning. So this can also motivate, it can also give us the direction to clearly look into the business plan in terms of the venture planning, in terms of venture creation, how to create it. So it's a kind of creative thought in the incubation stage. So this kind of pre-incubation and venture planning and creation, we can also seek some kind of coaching from the experts, some kind of some kind of help from the mentors, some kind of consultation with the industry experts, with the educational experts. So mentoring, internship, proactive networking, like we purposefully would like to develop the networking with people from this sector in which we want to venture into, like the educationist, and if educationist with the professional educationist or the school level educationist, administrators. So we purposefully develop our networking for gaining knowledge from getting some tips, some feedback, some so you can say guidelines, principles from these experts. So so this is a kind of this is a the within the curriculum framework, what can we gain, and outside the curriculum framework, but that means informally, beyond the formal education, what can we gain. So this is you can say it's circular, it's like you can say it is well integrated. That means this one sector, the knowledge we gain from one sector, formal sector, it also boosts our informal sector knowledge and experience. So, it is an ongoing, it is a circular, it is an ongoing continuous process, like our mindset boosts strengthens us to develop, boosts us to develop certain kind of capabilities, but again our capabilities enable us or empower us to develop, to increase our outlook. To nurture more creative thoughts, to visualize the future of those ventures, and thoroughly design the action plan, how to execute it and how to overcome the hurdles, all kinds of things. Then we specifically, we minutely we can observe and we can solve it. So, this is the it's a kind of framework that we would like to advocate, we would like to suggest to our young educational entrepreneurs for enhancing the effectiveness in education sector. So, the source of these things are like from UK higher education provider, they have actually given this model, they suggested this model, and it is well integrated with the learning outside the curriculum. So, within the framework of learning within the curriculum framework and learning outside the curriculum framework, that means both from the formal sector and both from from the informal sector, how can we acquire knowledge, gain experience, and use it through developing networking, collaboration, and through multiple capabilities and competencies, how we can nurture it, develop it, groom it, and we can land up in education sector being an educational entrepreneur, and to keep an eye on our effectiveness or outcome, or that means its result, its impact on the stakeholders, then we can take the help of this kind of framework to evaluate our learning outcome, or the business outcome, or you can say or educational entrepreneurial outcomes. Then we can map this outcome with the social benefits, with the stakeholders benefits and satisfaction and usefulness, etc. And further we can grow our business, further we can grow our education entrepreneurship activities on the basis of that platform. So, here I have given the links of some of the YouTube videos which are purely on this academic entrepreneurship, educational entrepreneurship. These are very insightful, they are very very impressive and thought provoking ideas, how these young entrepreneurs, they have taken up this social cause of enhancing the education and providing a service to our youngsters, to our children, to our future citizens, that means future of our countries, by providing services through technology, and how they have tried to fill up the gaps between the present curriculum and formal education system and the job requirements of 21st century globalized world. So, how they have tried the level best to identify some of the functional skills, some of the soft skills, some of the domain related subject content related skills, how they try to fill up those gaps and to groom and nurture our youngsters, our future leaders. So, in this way I have tried to give a overview of the HR in education, that means how the human resource in education sector can be mobilized, can be optimized, can be utilized maximally to get the maximum benefit, because education is I can say, I assume it's a largest sector of engaging the human resource. So, so we need to, and they are most of them, they are very talented, they are very very skilled, very competent, but somewhere we are lacking, somewhere we are lagging behind, somewhere we are missing the link, somewhere we are facing some kind of gaps which that means we may not be able to identify all the time, or as because we are so diverse in terms of label, in terms of subjects, in terms of types of institution, in terms of categories of professionals, all kinds of, as because we are so diverse, so large, so hence it is very difficult to to make it a very comprehensive kind of system, comprehensive model to enrich our education system. But it is my little effort to communicate, to convey the message to all the educators, to all the teachers, to all the students, those that means who are part of this profession, part of this industry, part, or who are the stakeholders as well. So to kindly look into this topics, topics and whatever I wanted to communicate and convey to you. So if all the professionals, teachers and teacher educators, you become very active and very innovative, and just it's a common goal, that how to uplift our education system, how to improve our education system, so that it will be a global number one system, like other countries like South Korea's, Hong Kong, or Singapore, or Japan or Finland's education system. These are the top 10 countries having the high education system, highly acclaimed education system. So I also I would like to see my education system, my country's education system, to be like that, in the top 10 world's education system. So it's my request to all the viewers, to all the teachers, all the educators, to make the joint effort, to make a collaborative effort to uplift our education system, the quality of education, the the quality of professionalism, the professional ethics and values, and to dedicate ourselves, our effort and motivation and energy, everything to our profession, and to the welfare of our students, our future learners, our teachers, educators, for our citizens, for our country to be the globalized or global player of say global player of education, and like in the profession, different sector, in the science, technology, we are very ahead of our competitors. Similarly, I would like that my country people, my teachers, my educators, to be the number one, and our systems would be at par with all the globally acclaimed education system. So thank you very much for patiently going through these classes, these sessions, and kindly go through these videos as well. And I have also included 1 or 2 videos in every topic, every lecture, every session, just to, that means to make it more lively, as well as to that means to to send the message more clearly that yes, people are doing and the things are going on, and we need to capture it, we need to focus on it to improve our system and dedicate ourselves for the benefit of our society. So to make it a sustainable education system, so this is my vision and mission and goal of making this course. Thank you very much. All the best. Thank you.